Hey YouTube, it's Shay and I'm back, and this video is going to be about my twin boys, my pregnancy with my twin boys, Traylon and Tristan. So I'm going to start off talking about why I took the test. So I was 2 weeks late and I was talking to my baby daddy and I was like, I think I should take a test. Well, first off, I was a week late, and I was like, I think I should take a test. He was like, no, I think you should wait another week. You know, your period's done it before. My period has been late for a week before, and then came back on a week early. I don't know. So, 2 weeks went by, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take my test. And yep, it came back positive, and it was bright red. So it wasn't like barely showing or nothing like that. It was bright red. So I was like, okay, well, what I did was I went ahead and went over to the store and I went and got me some prenatals to start my nutrients care for me and my babies. After that, I went ahead and made an appointment to go ahead and get qualified for pregnancy Medicaid. So I went to this place down here where I stay, and it basically was like, yeah, you're pregnant, la la la. So I took that letter and I went ahead and got my pregnancy Medicaid. After that, they told me that they wanted me to come back for ultrasound because they said after 6 weeks you could see the baby, blah blah blah. We want to make sure the heartbeat was there. So I was like, okay, yeah, heartbeat, because we thought it was just one. So she's like, okay, so go ahead and lift your shirt up, lay back and relax. I'm gonna put this jelly on you. It's gonna be a little warm. So she puts the jelly on my belly and she puts the monitor on my belly and she starts scanning. It took her a little minute. She was like, it took her a little minute to say anything. And I kind of seen this like look on her face. So I look up at the screen and I see 2 sacks. So she took a minute and she was like, She didn't say anything for like a good, like maybe like 5 minutes. So I was like, oh, something's up, right? I was like, is something wrong for a second? But then I seen the 2 sacks. And she's like, hey, I have a surprise for you. I was like, what? She's like, you're having twins. I was like, yeah, I kind of see that. I kind of see that. So she was like, do you want to tell your spouse or do you want me to tell your spouse? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, you can go ahead and tell him, that's fine. She's like, okay, what we're gonna do is you're gonna play it off like I didn't tell you. You're just gonna act surprised. So he walks in the room and she's like, she's scanning my belly. She did the same thing that she did with me the first time. She kind of stalled a little bit. She's like, guess what? You're having twins. And I look over at him and his whole face turned white. He was like, he looked like a ghost. Like he was very, very shocked. He had to go outside and get some air. It, he was not ready for that. So she was like, did the twins run in your family? And at the time I was like, I'm not sure, I don't think so. So we leave out of there and we take the pictures from the ultrasound home, and for the longest his mom was like, my baby daddy's mom was like, She's, are you pregnant? You're eating a lot more, yada yada yada. You and Tim are eating a lot more. That's his name. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I was hiding it until I knew for sure what was going on. She did pick up on the heartbeat, so I'm sorry I didn't say that the first time. She did get both of their heartbeats. So we take the pictures home and we're like, Miss Kim, we got a surprise for you. We have good news and bad news. And she's like, what's the bad news? Well, we couldn't really tell her the bad news first without telling her the good news. So what we did was we just handed her over the pictures, and she was like, what is this? I was like, we're having twins. And she's like, what? She's like, you're pregnant? I was like, yeah. So, stop. So his mom was very excited. She was like crying out of joy. And then after that, we had told his brother, and then we told his sister. Um, and then I decided to tell my people at work. I think I was then maybe, I think I was probably about 8 weeks or so when I started talking to people at work about it. And then it got over to my sister, so I told my sister about it. And at first, I don't think she was very happy about it, but then she warmed up to it. I did tell her I was having twins. So after that, I decided to wait until I was about 13 weeks to start telling everybody else. Because that's when you're about, I think 3 months. So people usually wait till about that time to tell everybody because things happen. Stop! I'm trying to do this for you too. Because things happen. People have complications and stuff in early pregnancies and stuff like that. People lose babies and stuff like that. So I didn't want to tell them, and then before before I felt comfortable telling everybody. I'm gonna just put it that way. So like I waited till I was about 14 weeks. Well, no, I didn't wait. I'm sorry. What happened was my mom found out when I was 14 weeks. I wanted to wait until my mom and my dad at the same time, but my mom ended up finding out beforehand because I was having complications with my breathing. I'm not sure still to this day why I was having complications in my early pregnancy with my asthma. Like I was taking my breathing treatment, my inhaler, and my rescue inhaler. It was bad. But anyways, so she's trying to figure out. She's trying to call my doctor and trying to figure out, what's going on with my breathing. So that she got in touch with my doctor, and it was like, well, we can't give her the medicine that she needs because she's expecting. And she comes back and tells me that, and I'm like, my heart's just like dum 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 dum. My mom's like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, everybody knows how black moms are, okay? Yes, I wasn't like living under her roof at the time, but still, like, my mom's, yeah. So, I'm like, I don't know, I was kind of scared, and I wanted to tell you and dad at the same time. She was like, well, I told her I was having twins as well. I probably should have kept that a secret for a little bit longer until my dad had found out at the same time. But anyways, so I went ahead and told her that. She was like, well, I wish you would have told me before because, when you have twins, it causes it to be a high risk pregnancy. So I think a week later, me and my mom got up with my dad and sit him down on the couch and we played this little game. I don't know what it's called. Hopefully I can look it up and put it right here for you guys. It's where you have a word, but the word's not the actual word you're trying to say. So I'm gonna have it posted right here, like I said. So I think I had something saying I'm pregnant, but it was spelled crazy. And then I had something saying my due date and then how many babies I was having. So my parents were excited about it, grandparents, they were turning into grandparents. So yeah. Um, I kind of hate that my mom found out before my dad did, but whatever, things happen. So yeah. Um, anyways, so I started going to my appointments, and everything was going good until I hit about, I want to say 30 weeks. No, I want to say before then, about 28 weeks. I started noticing that, well, when you're pregnant with twins, you have baby A and baby B. We started noticing that baby B was starting to fall in his weight curve. We didn't know if he stopped eating, or he wasn't getting food to him from his placenta or whatever. But the doctors were telling me that his blood flow was great and his placenta was wonderful. Um, I still to this day do not know why baby Tristan, baby B, was smaller than Traylon. He still is, but he's catching up with his brother. I'm pretty sure sooner or later they will be the same weight. Um, they were saying that maybe his placenta was in a funny area in my belly. Um, Traylon's baby A placenta was in the front of my belly, where Tristan's placenta was probably on my left side of my belly. So I think when I go to lay down, it's always best for you to lay on your left side when you're pregnant. So I believe that's what was happening. I'm not sure if Traylon's weight was on top of Tristan and it was like stopping his placenta from getting food from me. I'm not sure. To this day, I do not know. I'm just glad that they were very healthy babies. And I forgot to tell y'all about my visits. Since I was pregnant during COVID, for a while I was going to my appointments by myself. No one was allowed to come with me. It was just me by myself. And the last thing you want to do is go through your pregnancy visits by yourself. You do not want to sit there by yourself. No, you want to be with your spouse, your sister, or your mom, or your dad. You don't want to be in there by yourself. But I think up until I was in my, I want to say, end of my second trimester, then they was allowing me to have one person in the room. I absolutely hated it. I was just mad and upset. I was like, I'm doing this by myself. Nobody's there with me. You know how your emotions are. But yeah, so I had to deliver early. It wasn't necessarily because of Tristan, but it was just because you can't have twins in your bellies for over a certain amount of time because it starts putting harm on the mother and the babies. So he went ahead and had me deliver at 37 weeks. 37 weeks. So I delivered at a local hospital where I stay. And Traylon came out to be 6'11", where Tristan was 4'11". So there was still a 2-pound difference. But for the longest in my belly, Tristan was always an ounce under his brother up until 28 weeks. Then he started becoming a pound his brother, and then I don't know, it was so stressful. But like I said, I'm just very blessed that they came home healthy. I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap it up there because, like I told y'all guys, I'm not gonna have videos that are longer than 15-20 minutes because people start losing interest. But if you want me to do questions and answers, please leave questions down at the bottom. comment, like, and subscribe. And I can do another video on more of my pregnancy because I just hit like a couple topics. Once the video's over, I'm gonna insert a clip of kicks because everybody loves looking at kick videos. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like I said, if you want a video where I'm answering your questions, I will do that because those are fun as well. So y'all have a good day and happy Thanksgiving.